Ladies, let me tell you something today. There is an undeniable power in walking alone. It's not about loneliness or isolation, but about finding strength in solitude, discovering your own potential, and walking in freedom with confidence. Self-sufficiency and independence are two essential qualities that define a woman who walks alone. In a world where societal expectations often place value on relationships, social validation, and dependence on others, a woman who walks alone chooses a different path. She understands that her strength lies not in what others can give her, but in what she can create and sustain on her own. This self-sufficiency is not simply about physical survival or material independence. It extends to emotional and mental resilience, as well as the ability to navigate life's challenges with grace and determination. A woman who walks alone learns early on that she must rely on herself. She knows that no one else can define her worth or give her the sense of fulfillment she seeks. While support systems are valuable, she doesn't hinge her happiness or sense of purpose on the validation or approval of others. Instead, she draws from an inner well of strength that doesn't depend on external circumstances. She knows how to stand firm in her decisions, trust her judgment, and carry on even when the road is tough. The beauty of self-sufficiency is that it allows a woman to create her own life. She doesn't wait for someone else to give her permission to pursue her dreams or live her truth. Whether it's career goals, creative aspirations, or personal growth, she is the driving force behind her achievements. She learns the necessary skills, takes risks, and faces challenges head on because she understands that no one is going to come to rescue her. She is her own hero. Through this independence, she becomes empowered to design the life she desires without relying on anyone else's timeline or expectations. This independence is particularly important in a world where women have historically been made to feel that their worth is tied to the roles they play in relation to others, be it as wives, mothers, or daughters. A woman who walks alone challenges these conventional norms. She refuses to let her identity be dictated by societal roles. Instead, she embraces her individuality and defines herself on her own terms. She understands that her value is not contingent on her relationship status, her ability to nurture others, or her conformity to traditional expectations. Her self-worth comes from her ability to thrive independently, from her courage to make choices that align with her own values and desires. There is also a deep sense of freedom that comes with self-sufficiency and independence. A woman who walks alone is free to make her own decisions without needing to consult or seek approval from others. She can take risks, pursue opportunities, and step into new ventures without hesitation, because she knows that the only person she needs to answer to is herself. This sense of freedom extends beyond practical matters. It touches every aspect of her life. She feels unburdened by the need to conform or live up to the expectations of others. Her life is hers to shape, and she takes full ownership of it. In relationships, a self-sufficient woman doesn't seek validation or fulfillment from others. While she values meaningful connections, she doesn't rely on anyone to complete her. She understands that a healthy relationship is one where both individuals come together as whole, independent people, rather than seeking to fill a void in one another. This independence gives her the confidence to set boundaries, walk away from toxic dynamics, and create relationships that are built on mutual respect and shared values, not dependence. Strength and vulnerability is a concept that might seem contradictory at first. After all, vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, a place where emotions spill over, where fear or uncertainty takes root. Yet for a woman who walks alone, vulnerability becomes one of her greatest strengths. It is through embracing vulnerability that she finds her true power. She understands that it is in those raw, unguarded moments where growth, resilience, and transformation occur. Vulnerability allows a woman to confront her fears, to feel the pain of her past, and yet continue to move forward with courage. Instead of hiding from the difficulties of life or pretending to be invincible, she allows herself to feel everything: the joy, the sadness, the hurt, and the love. She doesn't mask her emotions or put on a facade for others. In doing so, she gives herself the space to heal and grow stronger, not in spite of her feelings, but because of them. This is where true strength lies, in not being afraid to show up as your authentic self, flaws and all. One of the most powerful aspects of vulnerability is its ability to connect us with others. While a woman who walks alone may often walk her path independently, she knows the value of genuine connection. Her vulnerability allows her to open up to others to share her truth and in return to receive love, support, and understanding. There is immense strength in the ability to form deep, meaningful relationships based on mutual trust and acceptance. A woman who walks alone understands that by embracing her vulnerability, she creates space for others to do the same, fostering connections that are both profound and healing. Moreover, vulnerability invites a deeper understanding of oneself. When a woman allows herself to be vulnerable, she is also able to face her own insecurities and doubts. She isn't afraid to confront the parts of herself that feel weak or fragile. Instead of shying away from these aspects, she faces them head on, understanding that acknowledging her weaknesses doesn't diminish her strength but enhances it. It is through this self-awareness that she cultivates resilience. Each time she allows herself to feel, to be vulnerable, she builds her capacity to cope with future challenges. Through vulnerability, a woman who walks alone also demonstrates profound emotional intelligence. She learns to navigate the complexities of her emotions with grace, to express her feelings honestly and without shame. Vulnerability doesn't mean being weak or overly emotional. It means being brave enough to show up as you are without pretense or protection. It is through this process that a woman learns to trust herself and the wisdom that comes from embracing her own emotions. Additionally, vulnerability is an act of courage. In a world that often tells women to be strong, independent, and unbreakable, choosing to be vulnerable can feel like a risk. It is much easier to put up walls to shield oneself from potential hurt or rejection, but a woman who walks alone is not afraid to take that risk. She knows that vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but a declaration of her strength. It takes immense bravery to be open, to risk feeling deeply, and to trust that even in those moments of rawness, she is capable of rising above it all. Through vulnerability, a woman who walks alone also models resilience to others. She shows that it's okay to be imperfect, to experience setbacks, and to struggle. It's okay to not have it all figured out, and it's okay to be open about the journey. Her willingness to be vulnerable gives others permission to do the same, creating a ripple effect of strength and courage. The power of self-discovery is one of the most transformative journeys a woman can undertake, especially when she chooses to walk alone. In a world that often pushes individuals to conform to societal norms and expectations, the act of discovering who you truly are without the influence of external forces is both an act of liberation and empowerment. A woman who walks alone is committed to this journey of self-discovery because she understands that knowing herself is the foundation for everything she will build in her life. Self-discovery is not a destination. It is a process that unfolds over time, often in the quiet moments when a woman is left with only her thoughts and feelings. When walking alone, she has the space to reflect, to ask herself difficult questions, and to dig deeper into the essence of who she is. What are her passions? What are her values? What brings her joy and fulfillment? The answers to these questions can only come from within, and it is through this introspection that a woman begins to understand her true desires, strengths, and limitations. One of the most powerful aspects of self-discovery is the realization that the answers don't lie in the approval or validation of others. Society often dictates what success, happiness, or even beauty should look like, and women are frequently measured against these narrow standards. However, a woman who walks alone learns that true fulfillment comes from living according to her own definition of success, her own standards of beauty, and her own sense of purpose. She understands that no external voice can tell her what she should want or who she should be. The journey of self-discovery is about peeling back the layers of influence from family, friends, and society, and finding her authentic self beneath it all. Through self-discovery, a woman becomes empowered to make choices that align with her deepest values and desires. She starts to recognize the things that no longer serve her, whether it's relationships that drain her energy, patterns of behavior that hold her back, or limiting beliefs that she has carried for years. By gaining clarity about her true self, she can begin to release what no longer fits and make space for what nourishes her. This creates a sense of freedom. Freedom to pursue her passions, freedom to express herself without fear of judgment, and freedom to live a life that feels true to her. Self-discovery also requires courage, as it often involves confronting parts of ourselves that are uncomfortable or painful. A woman who walks alone must be willing to face her fears, insecurities, and past wounds. This journey is not always easy, and there will be moments of doubt and struggle. Yet, it is in these moments of vulnerability and challenge that she uncovers the most profound insights about her own strength and resilience. Self-discovery is about embracing all aspects of oneself, the light and the dark, and accepting that every part of her contributes to her wholeness. As she progresses on this path, she begins to trust her intuition more deeply. She learns that her inner voice, the quiet whisper of her heart, is a trustworthy guide. When she learns to listen to that inner voice, it becomes easier to navigate life's complexities with confidence and grace. The power of self-discovery is not just about finding out who a woman is. It's about learning to trust herself enough to take bold, authentic steps in life. This trust is the foundation upon which she builds her future, knowing that every choice made from a place of self-awareness is one that aligns with her truest self. Freedom in solitude is a powerful concept that holds profound meaning for a woman who walks alone. In a society that often equates busyness with worth and encourages constant connection, the idea of finding freedom in being alone may seem foreign to many. Yet for a woman who chooses to walk alone, solitude becomes a sacred space, one in which she can rediscover her own voice, clarify her thoughts, and make decisions that truly align with her inner self. It is in this solitude that she finds the freedom to create, to dream, and to fully embrace who she is without the pressures of external influence. At the core of freedom and solitude is the ability to be fully present with oneself. In a world constantly demanding attention through social media, work relationships, and other obligations, the silence of solitude allows a woman to retreat from these distractions and connect deeply with her own thoughts and feelings. This space provides her with the opportunity to listen to her inner voice, to ask herself the hard questions, and to reflect on the direction she wants her life to take. When she walks alone, she can move at her own pace, without the rush or expectations that often accompany the lives of those who are constantly surrounded by others. Solitude offers a kind of clarity that is difficult to find amidst the noise of everyday life. A woman who walks alone is not swayed by the opinions or judgments of others because she has created the space to find her own truth. The distractions of others' desires and voices no longer have the power to dictate her path. This clarity enables her to make decisions based on what truly matters to her, whether that's pursuing a passion, embarking on a new career, or changing her personal circumstances. Freedom in solitude allows her to recognize what brings her joy, fulfillment, and purpose, and it frees her from the need to explain or justify those choices to anyone. The solitude a woman experiences while walking alone also gives her the chance to reconnect with her creativity and passions. Without the constraints of outside demands, she can explore new hobbies, dive into projects that excite her, and give time and energy to her personal growth. It is in solitude that many women find the space to cultivate their own unique gifts and talents, whether that's through writing, painting, learning a new skill, or simply spending time in nature. The lack of external influence in solitude allows for uninhibited self-expression. It is a time when a woman can experiment with different facets of herself and explore what makes her feel truly alive. Moreover, solitude can be a space of profound personal growth. When alone, a woman is forced to confront herself, the good, the bad, and the in-between. There are no distractions, no one else to blame, and no excuses. It is in this moment of self-confrontation that she can begin to heal from past wounds, learn from her mistakes, and build a stronger, more resilient version of herself. Solitude is not always comfortable, but it offers the freedom to grow in ways that are often impossible when surrounded by the noise of others' lives. Finally, freedom in solitude offers the ultimate sense of autonomy. A woman who walks alone is not beholden to anyone else's schedule, decisions, or demands. She gets to choose how she spends her time, what she focuses on, and where she directs her energy. This independence is liberating. It allows her to live her life on her own terms according to her own desires and values. The freedom to make her own decisions without the influence of others creates a sense of empowerment that cannot be easily taken away. Resilience and persistence are two qualities that are deeply intertwined, and for a woman who walks alone, they become essential tools for navigating life's unpredictable and often challenging journey. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to change, and continue moving forward despite adversity. Persistence, on the other hand, is the relentless pursuit of a goal or vision. Even when the path is difficult, the obstacles seem insurmountable, and the odds are stacked against her. Together, these qualities form the foundation of a woman's inner strength, helping her stay grounded and focused no matter the circumstances. A woman who walks alone learns early on that life does not always go as planned. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments when the road ahead feels too hard to continue. However, it is in these very moments that her resilience shines through. Rather than giving up or succumbing to despair, she digs deep within herself and finds the strength to rise again. She understands that failure is not the end, but an opportunity to learn and grow. Each time she faces adversity, she learns something new about herself, about her ability to overcome challenges, to persist through hardships, and to keep moving forward even when everything around her seems to be falling apart. Resilience is not just about bouncing back from difficult situations. It's about being adaptable in the face of change. A woman who walks alone doesn't cling to the past or resist change because she knows that growth comes from embracing the unknown. She accepts that life will throw curveballs her way, unexpected twists, losses, and disappointments. But she knows that how she reacts to these events will determine her future. Instead of feeling defeated or helpless, she chooses to adapt, to find new ways of approaching her problems, and to keep pushing forward even when the path is unclear. In this adaptability, she cultivates an inner strength that is unshakable, even when the external world feels uncertain. Persistence, on the other hand, is the ability to stay committed to a goal, a vision, or a dream, no matter how long it takes or how hard it gets. A woman who walks alone has a deep sense of purpose, and she understands that achieving her dreams requires determination and unwavering commitment. She faces obstacles head-on and is unafraid of the hard work that is often required to succeed. Persistence is what keeps her going when others might give up, and it is the force that propels her forward even when the finish line seems distant. Whether she's working toward a career goal, healing from a difficult experience, or simply trying to build a better future for herself, persistence ensures that she doesn't quit. Even when the journey feels long and exhausting, persistence gives a woman the strength to continue step by step. She may encounter rejection, failure, and discouragement along the way, but these setbacks do not define her. Instead, she uses them as stepping stones, as opportunities to refine her approach and strengthen her resolve. Persistence teaches her to focus on the long-term vision, to stay grounded in her purpose, and to understand that success is not always immediate. It often comes after many trials, errors, and moments of doubt. Both resilience and persistence allow a woman who walks alone to embrace challenges as part of the journey rather than something to fear. Each obstacle she faces is an opportunity for growth. And each time she persists through difficulty, she builds a greater sense of confidence in her ability to succeed. These qualities do not make the journey easy, but they make it possible. They transform struggle into strength, setbacks into lessons, and dreams into reality. A woman who walks alone with resilience and persistence knows that no matter what life throws her way, she will always find the courage to keep moving forward. Empowerment through faith is a profound and transformative force that propels a woman who walks alone to navigate life with confidence, strength, and purpose. Faith in this context transcends religious belief. It encompasses a deep trust in something greater than oneself, whether that be in a higher power, the universe, or simply in the belief that life has meaning and direction. A woman who walks alone knows that her journey, while personal and sometimes solitary, is never without purpose or divine guidance. This faith acts as her anchor, providing unwavering support in times of uncertainty and empowering her to persevere when the road ahead seems unclear. Faith serves as a foundation for a woman's sense of empowerment. It is not a passive force, but an active one that shapes her thoughts, actions, and choices. By placing her trust in something greater than her circumstances, she finds strength to face challenges that might otherwise seem insurmountable. This kind of faith is what keeps her grounded when life presents obstacles. She knows that she is never truly alone, even during the most difficult moments. Faith reminds her that there is a larger plan at work and that every trial she faces is part of a greater purpose. It allows her to hold on to hope and stay focused on her long-term goals, even when the immediate circumstances are tough. Through faith, a woman who walks alone discovers that her own power lies in her ability to trust herself and her intuition. She may not always have a clear roadmap for where her journey is headed, but faith enables her to move forward in confidence, trusting that the path will unfold as it is meant to. This trust extends not only to the process, but also to her own inner wisdom. She learns to listen to quiet, guiding voice within her, which helps her make decisions and take actions that align with her true purpose. Empowerment through faith is about letting go of the need for constant control and surrendering to the idea that life's unfolding is part of a much bigger picture. Moreover, faith empowers a woman to take risks, step out of her comfort zone, and pursue her dreams with courage. When she believes that she is supported by a higher power or a universal force, the fear of failure or rejection doesn't have the same hold on her. Faith allows her to step forward even when the outcome is uncertain. This faith-driven courage opens doors to new opportunities, growth, and transformation. It frees her from the paralyzing effects of doubt, enabling her to move forward with conviction. Faith also deepens her connection with others, even as she walks alone. It reminds her that we are all interconnected in ways that transcend physical proximity. The empowerment that comes from faith is not just an individual pursuit, but also a collective one. A woman who walks alone, grounded in faith, understands that the love, wisdom, and support she seeks from the world are all available to her through her connection to others, the universe, and the divine. She is empowered to give and receive love, compassion, and support in ways that enrich both her life and the lives of those around her. Through faith, a woman who walks alone gains resilience in the face of adversity. She understands that every challenge is an opportunity to grow and strengthen her character. Faith teaches her that setbacks are not signs of defeat, but opportunities to deepen her trust in herself and her journey. With this faith as her foundation, she becomes unshakable in her pursuit of a meaningful and fulfilling life. Empowerment through faith is the knowledge that she is supported, guided, and capable of achieving what she desires, even in the face of hardship. In conclusion, a woman who walks alone embodies strength, resilience, and empowerment. Through self-sufficiency, she creates her own path, guided by an unwavering sense of purpose. Vulnerability becomes her power, allowing her to grow and connect with others authentically. Her journey of self-discovery fosters clarity and confidence, while solitude offers the freedom to live on her own terms. Resilience and persistence drive her forward, and through faith, she finds the strength to overcome challenges and trust in her own abilities. Ultimately, she demonstrates that walking alone is not a sign of weakness, but a powerful choice for growth and fulfillment.